What a disappointment. What a disappointment. This is my spoiler free review of The Long Game by Rachel Reid, the sequel to the beloved Heated Rivalry. And I say it's spoiler free because nothing happens in this book, and that's basically my biggest complaint with it. So there ain't a lot to spoil even if I wanted to. So the long game picks up after Heated Rivalry is finished, and if all you've done is watch the show like me, and you wanted to read the book to get a bit of a glimpse ahead of what we're going to get later in the year with Series 2, it actually doesn't make that big of a difference. You don't lose a lot from having read the first book. It seems like a really faithful adaptation. Unfortunately for me, it was so boring, and way too long. You could have packed this down into like 150 pages and still had the same outputs for it. It's the same conversations about the same thing with the same characters, all of whom kind of generally sound the same. Just not, yeah, I was so let down by this. And the biggest sign of that is that the spicy scenes in my gay hockey book, I actually started just swiping through and skipping through. There was one or two that did something a bit different, or they were a bit like, ooh. But on the whole, like they just started to get boring because everything else was boring. What I will say though is Shane and Ilya are still great, and if you are looking for a book about some queer joy with a happy ending, this will absolutely give you that. Maybe I'm just not the right audience for this thing after enjoying the show so much. Especially because when we get to like the 80 to 90% mark, some really interesting stuff does actually happen and it gets quite exciting and it does really grip you, which makes me all the angrier that I didn't get that for the rest of it. Yeah, on the whole, just did not like this at all. Will I be watching series 2 of Heat Rivalry the show? You bet your sweet ass I will.